Relations. Let's get started today. Today we're talking all about the gift of the gab, the speech, the power of language, the power of eloquence. And last night, of course, I had channeled OGMIOS, the god of binding, and it was such a powerful experience, man. I could feel my voice a lot deeper, a lot more crystal clear. I feel that my throat chakra has opened up, and there's a definite authority in my voice that I'm starting to notice. It's very powerful, you know, it's very powerful. So today I was going through some communication notes from Michael Sartain and Owen Cook and so forth, and I looked at those notes through OGMIOS's eyes. And I think that was a very powerful exercise because, again, you could just take notes and try to learn something new in terms of communication or the technology of communication. But to see it through a God's eyes is a very, very unique process. And I think it's going to teach us a lot based on what he taught us last night. Now, this is only for adepts. I think the information is too rich, too compelling, and too esoteric for a lot of people to understand. Also because you need to be a man of or woman of high character to be able to actually understand some of these teachings, okay? Because he does share a lot of stuff on influence, he shares a lot of stuff on curses, he shares a lot of stuff on different ways to impact the audience using your speech, using your eloquence. So start to understand that that takes a lot of responsibility as a communicator, because you want to practice going into the experience as you're speaking. Okay, and a lot of people, they're out of it, they're cut out of it, they're not tapped in, they're locked out of the present moment. And this is why I want to emphasize something, okay? Presence over performance. Okay, let me say that again. Presence over performance. Performance is like, oh, I'm going to set this up in a very specific way and manufacture it exactly so that the audience likes me. Presence is, I'm here, right now. I'm adaptable to the audience's needs in the moment. What's going on around me? Let me tune in. Let me be one with it. You see, the audience is not separate from me. That's what's causing anxiety. Hey, Andrea, namaste, namaste. Namaskaram, let's go. We're talking about communication today. And last night I channeled OGMIOS, the god of binding. And I'm sure you can hear it in my voice today. My voice sounds different, correct? It just sounds more refined. It sounds more like a weapon. Like I'm ready to use my voice as a weapon. Ryan G, what's up? Man, I just have so much gratitude for this path working, because if it wasn't for this, we would not have the results that we have, you know what I mean? And so I just want to thank all the deities of Primal Sutra that we work with, and all the people supporting this channel, and everybody who's tapped into this process, man. I feel so grateful for that. And I want you to understand some laws. Number one, introverts, okay, see extroverts as they're being fake, okay? Really register this, because some of you ambiverts will get this, okay? Introverts look at extroverts as, nah, they're just making stuff up, they're just being narcissistic, they're just too cocky, they're just too, expressive, really. They're fake. Now, extroverts look at introverts as awkward, they're mean, they're, they're off-putting, whatever, right? So it's interesting to note that both of those are perceptions of each other. But truly, as I was younger, I was an introvert. And as I started to grow older, I started to learn the tools of extroversion, okay? So in my heart of hearts, man, I would just want to curl up with a really good book and get tapped in. But again, if I have to make a business deal, if I have to understand, I have to communicate in this environment, if I have to go public speak, okay, there's a specific protocol and process that I do. Number one, I anchor myself to a sound. And this was one of our teachings last night, is that there's a very unique sound to the frequency of joy. And once you understand what yours is, and of course, if you want to sign up for the mystery school, we can break it down much further, or you can watch the recording, because it was very powerful. It's too powerful to miss, actually. But once again, with great power comes great responsibility, okay? Like Spider-Man said. Or Uncle Ben to Spider-Man, whatever, right? So you want to feel how you want the audience to feel, first and foremost. That's number one. Whatever you are feeling, they are feeling. Kenny, I think Christ is king, brother. Next, we have vocal projection, okay? Now, vocal projection is very powerful. You want to understand, what are you sending to the audience, right? Is it a dart? Is it a bowling ball, like a boom, right? What kind of weight do your words hold? Is it a monotone? Are you speaking like this all the time? Or is there a musicality? A sense of adventure about your voice, like a boyhood dream getting accomplished, but still holding on that gravitas and authority at the same time. It's like the beauty and power of the inner child and the inner parent or the inner father or even inner mother, right, as a woman, coming together to create this internal protocol, which is invisible. Mahayanas is done. Cool. Okay? The grand vehicle, Maha. Vajrayana too, then, okay? Now, understand one thing, okay? You gotta have flavor with the authority. If it's just authoritative, it's like listening to one of those teachers in school. It's just like, okay, they're strict, they're kind of breaking the old patterns, right? But there's not really that enrichment. You don't feel connected to that information. But sometimes you would have like a substitute teacher where you'd be like, wait a second, I kind of get what they're saying, you know? And so going with that, you understand you've got to control what you say next, and that stifles you. You can't control what you say next, because what you say next is infinite, it's supreme, it's present, it's here, it's now. That's where all the greatest ideas come from. That's where all the downloads, all the amazing epiphanies you're gonna get is gonna come from you tapping into the zone in your own flow state, in your element, in this moment now, okay? That's where it's gonna come from. So first of all, understand this, speak with a lower register, and practice making your voice like a stargate. Okay, a stargate meaning it's a portal for other people to experience, but it's also a force field. Therefore, it doesn't allow for certain energies to pierce through, okay? Because your words are weapons, I have the shielding, okay? And this is the verbal jujitsu, the art form. If someone says, hey, are you stupid, are you gay, are you dumb, are you blah, 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 are you doing? Maybe. Yeah, quite possibly I am, so what? Huh, perhaps, right? You're giving a non-answer because they cannot catch you. You see, if a gazelle if a gazelle is running away from a lion, it doesn't know which way it's gonna go, it can run away, it can escape, right? It does not find the prediction for the lion's attack because it's unpredictable. It can go whichever way that it chooses. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Ken? How's Barbie? So, the idea being, right, that you have to have this flavor with authority that has just the level of a right peak, right? It has peaks and valleys, right? Troughs. So you gotta understand this is what it's going like, okay? You're just surfing the wave, okay? Yesterday was a good example of what you're saying. Okay, great, Andrea. Maybe you want to talk a bit about that. So you have to relax, be loud. You don't know what the volume really is, right? Because every single environment has a specific volume. But you also have a blind spot of your own vocal projection, your own tonality, your own musicality, and your own voice, okay? The reason I can speak like this and I can understand my accent is because I watched American TV growing up, and I mean, who taught me English, bro? Like The Simpsons, you get what I mean? What did you sense during the Father OGMIOS channeling? I just saw a lot of scribbles of language, parchment paper, just an invisible essence, or I saw the way that his metaphysical form merges with this physical incarnation. I saw a lot of like imagery of nature for some reason, and then I saw this like dragon energy as well, and it was very Celtic in its nature, the energy. You know what I mean? And like for instance, Jacob, you know, he really understands that I'm Jay Nahasapima Petalon grown up, right? So that goes to show you that there's an eloquence of freestyling nature with which you live, okay? Ken, we're talking about communication, okay? And we're talking specifically about OGMIOS, the god of binding, through the lens of communication. Because Ogam is a script, okay, that allows you to understand the language of trees, okay? It's very, very powerful if you look into this stuff, okay? Now, with your voice, I said create portals, create stargates, experiences for people. So you're not approaching somebody to talk to them, they're entering your world. That's first change. You're not going up to start a conversation, they are getting a sense of your vibe. They're getting a sense of your energy. They're meeting your stargate. They're understanding what it's like to be in Hogwarts or Narnia or wherever you live in your mental world, your imagination. And you can start the conversation off with that imagination. You tell her, hey, let me see your wings. Show me. You like mine? Okay. That's a different energy. That's the language of the Fae. Now I wouldn't use that with just an ordinary woman, right? That wouldn't hit. That doesn't have the kind of energy that she has, okay? So the language shifts. It's always moving. You see what I mean? The language is always moving like this. And so you have to sometimes understand that your accent is like the spice on top of the meal, okay? Hallelujah, Hayden. So, public speaking is about flavor and congruence. It's not just about flavor. It's not just about being congruent. It's about relevance, creating relevance with the audience, not going so overboard, okay? I do that sometimes. I go overboard and people can't link or resonate, you know? But you have to be able to resonate people, right? That's one of the things, is the congruence element. But then there's also the authenticity. You don't want to lose out on your authenticity or your flavor, right? You have a specific, unique flavor that makes you you. There's nobody else like you. Isn't that amazing? Right? Yes, you are similar to others. You have essences, but again, you are so unique and you don't even know it. You don't even express that uniqueness at times. But you have it within you. It's there. It's just in hiding. It's just dormant. It's like a volcano waiting to explode or erupt in the right moments, in the right friend group, in the right environments, correct? So that's what I want you to first of all understand and tap into. Andrea says, when I work with critters, I'm using my voice. Or the school's out at the moment. Your voice tells a lot, you know? Even as a parent, your voice, it hits a specific register, right? Because, you know, children are in a different frequency. Animals are also in a different frequency. Trees are in a different frequency, but they all coincide at some level, right? I'm speaking to these three energies very differently, but I understand the communication underneath all, you see? And that gives you a freedom, that gives you an openness, a presence, a warm-heartedness, but also a coldness if you can apply it in the right way, the right moments, okay? Just knowing the temperature, the right temperature to keep you dim in the storm, oh Lord, okay? Gotta turn you on, right? It's that. Find the right temperature, the right homeostasis of your communication, or flowmeostasis of your communication. You got to have a neutral that you come back to where you're not stretching your edge. It's just in your range, you manage it, it's attainable, and it's perfect, it's pure, it's present, it's there. You get it? There's no hiding, there's no seeking. I'm not here to play hide and seek. Okay, I'm here to speak. I'm here to communicate and express myself. That's what we want to learn from OGMIOS, because he's taught us, the path working, also myself, this energy. It's so amazing, because once he taught us that words are like weapons and they can fire very differently. Like if you're using a sphere or you're using a machine gun, it's very different, right? Different weapons, but different outcome. Similar to your language. If you speak in a different register, it's going to hit someone differently. They're going to impact with that language differently. And we also got taught a very powerful incantation of an invocation, actually, of influence, which is very, very powerful, high level stuff. And we also understood that a lot of the times you're not losing yourself enough. You know what Eminem said, right? Lose yourself in the music, the moment you own it, you better never let it go, right? It's that. You gotta lose yourself in the music, but the music is your life. You gotta understand that you don't always have to be this character. Uncle Makara is a creation, an archetype of my mind as it's being generated and created through these images that I hold, and I carry that frequency alive with me through the days as I'm living, as I'm learning, okay? So I treat my life like an education, but the true meaning of the word education is educere, which means to draw out from within. And OGMIOS is one of the gods of education as well. So we have to understand, if I'm really educating you, I'm drawing out this essence from within you, right? I'm not yelling at you until you get it. That's one of those teachers we know, right? They're just yelling at you like, oh, just do it like this again, okay? What does the curriculum say? Okay? So you want to find the fun, the playfulness in the moment again. This is where you have that lila, that divine play, right? You get access to that realm. You get to understand all these different lokes, right? These different dimensions of your beingness, of your existence, of your mental world. And it's an amazing thing when you can tap into this. Hey, Nadine? So, really understand that, yes, you got to tune out the audience at times. However, you also have to feel what you want the audience to feel, because ultimately the audience is you. They are a reflection of you. You see what I mean? So it's important for you to recognize that once you're giving a speech, you're not up on stage performing and to all the people down there, and they're below me, they're under me. No, I'm speaking like my friends in the living room. All right? Hey, could you pass me that water? Yeah. Exactly. It's that casual yet formidable nature that you need to tap into. And you've always had it, and you already know. It's already yours, it's already mine. Hey, young Jefe is here again. So glad to be on time this time. Love your work and ability, my brother. Hey. Upward spiral, gang, gang, gang. Okay, every day, we're improving. Jai Shri Ram. Okay? But remember, it's not just Jai Shri Ram, but it's also Ram consciousness. Right, Shagnesh? Because once you really tap into that energy, you understand the Lanka of illusion, and you understand the Hanuman of surrender and devotion, and you find all of it, right? You find all of the codes. So, yelling at school just switched my mind off. I'd be daydreaming about being outside. Yep, exactly. Being, right? Not thinking about being outside. That would be a horrible experience, man. Imagine thinking about being outside rather than being outside, right? Oh, man. Yeah, just being it, though, you know? But what if you're still outside and thinking about being outside? Then you've tapped out, right? You're now out of the flow thinking, am I in flow yet? I thought this meditation would work, you know? And this is why a lot of people fail in meditation, because they set a timer on it, you know? They go, oh, 10 minutes a day or whatever, right? Yo, I meditate sometimes hours, okay? Hours, without anything, right? Without a single drop of a sound. And I'm practicing that. I'm practicing holding that. Why? because I want to train my mind to be able to concentrate and focus. I've grown up with this kind of mild ADHD type of nature, and I want to crystallize and fine-tune that mind so I can get back into the present moment and lock in. Once I'm locked into the now, then my timeline is on my side. I don't feel like life is, running past me, and I don't feel like I have to catch up to anything either. Right? It's just a purity of the time which creates this understanding. The dojo of impatience teaches you patience. You get what I mean? Where are you from? I'm from Kolkata. Just got back from a great spirit walk and paid some dues. Hey, man. Man's on a pilgrimage. Okay? On a higher consciousness hunt. I like that. This world is in for a big change. Big 555 vibes. Yep. Big changes, man. You already notice it. The energy is just changing on the planet, right? People are waking up. People are saying Christ in the comments. Like, we already see it. We already see the effectiveness of this. We all understand what's going on underneath the surface. Did you see Fusi posted? Fusi 2? I met Fusi 2 back in the Grove in LA those days, where he was also struggling with his mental illness, and he keeps doing the same pattern, right? Keeps getting depressed, keeps having a mental breakdown. But that's because he's also in the limelight, and he keeps stretching and creating these ego death experiences for himself rather than actually crystallizing and understanding his pure awareness and his connection to God, right? That higher source, that higher power, that Holy Spirit, that flow state essence, that Buddha nature, that Krishna consciousness, whatever you want to call it, it is there. And once you tap into that energy, you can speak for days, hours, it doesn't even matter, man, okay? I want to challenge you guys to do something. Listen to the Maha Mantra, which is Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, okay? Imagine listening to that before you sleep, okay? Now, why is it called a grand mantra? Because it really allows you to spike your consciousness up there, right? You create that Krishna essence within you. You become attractive, you become magnetic, you understand that energy starts to boost. Because it's something that is not you. It's not particularly your little ego and identity saying that, oh, I have to be like this. If I followed all the other Indian stereotypes, I have to be a lawyer, I have to be a doctor, I have to be a chartered accountant, I have to make money, so, I give it back to my parents, I have to respect my elders, I have to do all of these things that the Indian society tells me. If I had gone with that, now I understand I got to respect my elders, okay? I have a very deep love and gratitude for my culture, because I've come back here to reconnect with my roots again, okay? And the word root, as we understood, is connected to our food. So the Bengali food that I'm eating is connecting me to my ancestral code, in a sense, okay? So really, it's powerful to be able to captivate myself and understand, yes, there's this soft kind of wimpy side of the Bengali poet who's kind of, just wishing and wondering and hoping and dreaming and romanticizing and, in his fantasy. But then there's also the true resilience and that nature of Vivekananda, right? That when he speaks, it resonates in each ear, right? And that quality, right? That gift of gab, you also have to have that quality. You can't be like, I'm being too awkward or I'm being too fake. I'm being too introverted, I'm being too extroverted, right? You can't have that because, again, the real charismatic people, they don't judge themselves like that. You get that? They don't constrict their own communication and reality like that. They actually allow themselves to tap in. Okay? Is the love I found real? Tina says yes. Are you Hindu or Christian? I'm an omnist. Does that answer your question? Name a car for an edit. BMW. I'm a whatever. More people are conscious than before, I've been noticing. Yeah, totally. Be like Christ and everything will be gone before they died. Muhammad said, I don't know the purpose of life. Buddha said, seek for the truth. Confucius said, I am not the way. But Jesus said, I am the way, the truth of life. No one cares. To the Father except through me. Jesus is the only one who rose from the dead. The other three are still in their grave. Okay? Well, I wouldn't agree with the fact that they're in their grave, Faith. However, I get what you're trying to say. The collapse of Hades is now for real, and I can only be thankful to my ancestors. Yep. And the Most High for answering our prayers of light, so bright that it oppresses the negative shades. Bro, if you really want to go deep down the rabbit hole, if I say this though, I think this video is going to be taken down. So I don't want to, like, I know some of the evil that's going on the planet right now, and I want to talk about it, but I don't know if I'm going to get deplatformed or whatever, you know what I mean? However, I would say that look up the Khazars, okay? Khazars, okay? That's as far as the code that I'm going to tell you right now, okay? But you can look up into it in your own time, okay? But yeah, you have to get into the rhythm of speaking. You get what I mean? There's a specific rhythm, a cadence, right? A joy, where you like hearing yourself, almost like you hear the force field and the Stargate happening at the same time. You notice that it's an entrance into some other world, something else, right? Okay? What up, bro? What up, Jack? The evil that God is happy to sit by and watch, says Juntus. Juntus? How do you pronounce your name, bro? Andrea, although it has been noticeable that we are attracting the darkness, and you have just said that. Yep. Both hand or right hand. One has one shin only, has eye. Okay. There is nothing like unto him. Okay. Yeah, you can keep quoting scripture, bro, but we're talking about communication here. So if it has value to the conversation, then please continue. This is not a talk for religion, okay? This is a separate talk for this live, and we're focusing on the power of the gift of the gab, of communication. So if the first word was God and it was with God, or whatever that statement is, right? You got to understand that the word is you. That is your creation. You got to understand how to use your language properly and not just quote scripture. Anybody can quote the Vedas or quote these different scriptures, okay? But to put that into practice, I want to see how you're living with these understandings and truths each day, okay? Not just pointing fingers at evil and just trying to, you know, micromanage evil, because that's not going to work either, right? We have to stay in the frequency of what we most deserve, what we most prefer. We got to stay in that energy and allow that vibration to teach us and guide us, be like a teacher for us, right? So once we understand that, you can be loud, you can be genuine, and you can also be unstifled, okay? The heavens declare the glory of God. Back in Ryan G, right? Quoting scriptures again, just to prove the point, right? But that's what I mean. It's like, you got to understand that if you want them to feel heard yourself. And how you say it is more important than what you're saying, and also who you're being as you're saying it. Okay, let me say that again. It's how you are saying it, not what you are saying. And it's also who you are being, your character, as it's saying it. Spiritual, not religious, but I'm just me. Co-creators and being in the flow state. This is why, Andrea, I said flow state is the religion of the future. We really understand that what's connecting all of us, is a heightened state of experience, right? That peak performance state, that heightened state of mind where we feel tapped in, we feel bliss. Everybody has access to that. Some people, they might have a lower socioeconomic status, or they might have, not as many possibilities. They think that through buying things and products, they can give themselves the enrichment to finally tap into flow, whereas you just need your own physical body, mind, and spirit, right? You just need to strengthen those three each day. Really, it starts from there, Alicia, hey, thank you, appreciate it. Australia, that's epic. We're going to New Zealand to meet with the Maori people, and that's going to be an epic adventure. That's going to be in November as we tap into that energy. Mana May was tapping into it a little bit. Now we're in Jubilant June. And the word jubilant actually means the sound of joy. Okay? That was from OGMIOS, whom I channeled last night. I got these epic downloads from him. Woo! And now there's a bird outside my window. Hold on. Let me see. Right? Like there's always these signs where you start to notice these things, right? And they just appear, right? They just appear, right? Right when you're tapping into the energy, the animal realm will show you the message, okay? This is why you understand when you see like a lizard, it tells you to get back into your reptilian brain. Get into your body again, stay embodied, because those newts, those geckos, those lizards, whatever, right? They're reminding you to tap in. The animal realm is very tuned in to what is happening, but they just don't have the logic or the understanding or the, the infrastructure, the mental infrastructure to create some cause out into the world. But the human said, I am that I am. They used the speech and the language to communicate what was in here. You see? Out of the chat, got it, Andrea. So, Faith says, I will not give in the world of Satan who walks this world of lies and corruption. Okay. Well, the more you focus on it, brother, you're consenting to that to happening to you, right? Because now you're focusing on the reality that Satan has the power and that God is not within, right? Hey, the God in me is bigger than any Satan in front of me or in my eyes or whatever, bro. You know what I mean? So it's a knowingness. You got to walk with that Godfidence, man. Yes, the world is evil. The people are telling lies. Is the greatest deceiver. We understand that Satan is like that, right? We understand that, even Lucifer is a trinity, right? That connects with all of these darker beings. And yes, we've gotten flies in our eyes, okay? That's a big sign that the satanic forces want Primal Sutra to go over to their side, okay? And the Illuminati's reached out to us. And of course we get it, right? Anybody who joins mysticism, they've got to have this wokeness, this awareness that I am righteous, okay? I am graceful. I am pure. I'm in my own essence. I'm not going to go with what society tells me. I'm going to allow the divine, that truth, that grace to speak through me. And that's what you're reacting to, but also I'm reacting to. I'm just a byproduct. I'm just a bystander to this divine consciousness that is speaking through me. You know what I mean? So stay aware and always stay focused. Yeah, man. And I learned that from Haru, Horus, that energy of being so hyper-focused on something, graceful, full of that grace. You got it. You guys got the code already, okay? Because truly, the word joy comes from chaza in Greek, as we learned from OGMIOS, which guess what? Guess what that means, Andrea? It means grace, the grace of God. That joy that you're tapping into is from the grace of God. Hey man, Wolf Chief, you come on here talking about how the Hindu caste system is whack every live, bro. Do we get the point now, right? I think we all agree that there's some issues with it. But I don't think that's the main point. I think you have some hidden agenda, and I think in a past life you were in a caste system. In a past life you were in a lower untouchable caste system, and that's why you feel so much rage for it. Bro, I'm serious. Okay, you might laugh at that, but for real, why are you talking about it over and over again? You're spiritually attached to it. You see what I'm saying, bro? That's wild. And yeah, there are some things wrong with all religions, okay? But we're not going to micromanage that. We're going to focus on what works. Hey, sad, right, the tiny Mike Tyson violin. Hey, what happened with Mike Tyson in the Jake Paul fight, by the way? What happened with that? Did he, get a heat wave in a jet or something? Did he pull out? I don't know what happened with that. That was random as hell, right? Can't trust any of these publicity stunts anymore, man. It's like, what's going on really, right, underneath the surface? I know one of the secrets of Jake's success is probably through his breath work that he's been doing, because he's been altering his state of mind and his consciousness to be able to tap into that essence, right? So really, he's not Jake Paul anymore. He's tapping into something, right? But then he's also has so many tattoos, so he's opened a lot of portals through his own, framework, his infrastructure. You get what I mean? I once wrote a diss track on Jake Paul, like back in the day when he was like on the Vine days, when he was still like Dirk from, whatever that show was on Disney, right? I remember I wrote a diss track like Jake Paul, da na 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 na, fake it then I can doll, da na na na, something like that, right? Oh, Swami, tell us all the answers. Hey, I don't need to. Doctor, who, what, where. You know why? Because just the fact you recognize I was a Swami in a past life and you mentioned it in the chat, guess what? Guess what? You're already enlightened. You don't need any other path, my child. The path you have is right in front of you because you are the doctor of who, what, where, what, huh, who, that doctor, that doctor? Wait, doctor of health? Or not of health? I guess so. I dare you to do another Jake Paul diss track. Hey, sure, let's do it. I'm down, I'm diggity down, okay? However, think about this reality, man. I make that diss track and he challenges me to fight him, right? Like, I see that in the quantum soup as well, okay? So I feel like I'm gonna have to train for that. Young Chief, damn, you're going to have a shock for you at the end of this life. Whoa, I mean, I am a young chief. Hey. Faith, that's the energy that I know. Faith, notice your transformation there. You get that? Now you're talking about, we pray for everyone, and blessed be to God, our Lord, King of the universe. Now notice that, right? Notice that over, I will not give the world of Satan who walks this world of lies and corruption. I will not, right? Notice the difference in those energies. What I'm saying as a positive psychologist is, you can stay in the darkness all you want, but it's time you show up as the light to scare these demons away. It's the time for you to be that golden shadow that you've always known, that's always been within you. Now it's just about what? Tapping in. And that's what we teach. The mysticism of tapping in, the science and art of tantric riz, whatever you want to call it, pleasure alchemy, we have many words for it. But again, it's who puts it into practice. We will die, be judged, and then move on to heaven or hell. Don't fall for Maya's lies. Exactly. And you know what? Who eats Maya's lies? Ganesha, the obstacle remover, because that elephant god understands I'm going to chomp on these senses, but I know it's an illusion. I know it's all an illusion. I'm eating it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the thrill of it. I'm on the red carpet or whatever, but I'm not attached to it. Okay? I could be walking on the same red carpet like next door. Okay? Don't matter. It's the venue is different or whatever. Get what I mean? So, yep. We are all fragments of one universal consciousness. Expressing everything. It mentions in Kabbalah. We are heaven and hell, absolutely. Who's that guy who said I looked zesty, bro? I feel like I do look like, bro. I'm looking fucking like I just walked out of a, like a camera audition somewhere in Beverly Hills, right? Dang. Also, I've seen many AI technologies named after Maya or Amaya. Like, come on now, bro. I know, it's wild. It's wild, but hey, if you understand Ganesha's energy of the root chakra, my friend, Maya is going to be a piece of cake for you. Literally, it will be between you eating that piece of cake or not, right? It's like the food and the way we consume using technology through our eyes or ears, right? But we also consume through our mouths. So, hey, be more concerned what's coming out of your mouth, though. And that's the rule of communication. That understanding that my words create worlds, as I learned from my mentor early on, AZD, you know, he taught that concept and that process. And what's really interesting is that whole understanding, right, has changed my entire framework, because now I lead my life with a different vocabulary. I speak differently, man. I use the word flow me. Nobody knows what a flow me is, a flow homie, right? We get that, right? But to somebody else who's just watching, who's coming across all these words and like, damn, I have to put this together. Wait, he mentioned something about a Shakti. I don't know what that is, right? I'm gonna Google that. And a lot of people are catching up to this information. You see what I'm saying? But it's up to the right minds. The global elite are out there, but then there's also global light workers, or not light worker as in a light hustler or a light slave. You're not complaining, oh man, I got incarnated. Are you kidding me? I'm here for the first time and I can't really. Why are you complaining as a light worker? You're meant to shine and beam and heal and you know, purify and cleanse and allow yourself to grow. You get what I mean? This is why we have to change the culture. And I'm giving you the gift of the gab through delivering the gift of the gab. Right? I could have a thing memorized, like for instance, right? I'm gonna deliver this, I have this memorized, but notice the cadence. Can't get away from this agonizing pain defined a state that I'm in. Feels like a tranquilizing. Late surprises straight in my head. You guys see that? Right? That is a vibration. That's a pocket of resonance and rhythm. Can't get away from this agonizing pain defined state that I'm in. Feels like a tranquilizing. Late surprises straight in my head. Okay? So, really understand that you could have that memorized, but the cadence couldn't match. And you spill over the words and you make a few mistakes, but somebody who loves hearing that, loves delivering that, loves themselves, loves the audience, has a pure frequency and open heart, and they're speaking through the grace of God, you become a preacher in that moment. You become a prophet in that moment. You tap into that divine grace and that charisma code. That riz starts flowing out of you. Why? Because God is on your side, and every single spirit guide, angel, manifester, ET, alien, whatever, okay, is beside you. Your whole spirit team is beside you, and you cannot fight all of this evil by yourself. We need a tribe. We need an alliance. We need an understanding. We are Primal Sutra. We're going to take over all of the infrastructures of evil because we understand it deep within ourselves. It's our own shadow work. As a collective, we've got to go deep into the imprints, the recesses of our own mind to pull through what's coming out, what's coming through. Okay? We are the imagination of ourselves, okay? All matter is merely energy condensed to a slow vibration. And we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. There's no such thing as death. Life is only a dream. Yes, absolutely. And it's Vishnu's dream. And Vishnu even forgets he's the dreamer at times, you know? That he's the cosmic dreamer. Because you send Mahavishnu, right? To seduce Tripura Sundari, right? Which is your desire of existing, right? Of being here. So you have a right to that desire. You get that? But the real meaning of desire without a direction is to dethrone. To desire means I'm coming out of sireship. Okay? Like descend means to go down. So your desire brings you down, but now it's about desire with what? Aim. Right? It's desire with intention. It's desire but not attached to the desire, the outcome. It's desire and dropping the fear. You guys get that? Now we're understanding what's really coming through, right? Young Hefe, hey man, you're tapping into this energy too, I know. Love being with a fellow omnist and learning more about the Hindu mythos, as well as honing in the Buddha within. Ashe. Hey! Let's go. Upward spiral, gang. May we never be the same again. Hit that like and subscribe button. We're all here to win and accelerate, not only in this timeline, but on all future timelines. Let's get it. We're all gonna make it. I'll see you guys in the astral. Stay up. Let's go. Wim Hof is great. Forced mindfulness, bro. Forced mindfulness. Wim Hof taught us that. So you gotta tap into that breath too, man. That breath work, okay? Any kind of breath work, just tap in, okay? Hey, Dr. Who What Where has gained a Satori today. Let's go. That's amazing. Now it's time to cultivate that seed. The seed of enlightenment has been planted. As you called me a Swami as you walked in, doctor. And now let it emerge, okay? Let's go. Upward spiral. Us. You already got this. Let's win.